Hey, how's it going? This is Amy. I am the Sun Tarot, and I'm here to bring you a general reading right now. I'm not sure what it's going to hold yet, but I am a business strategist, spiritual intuitive, and healing artist. And if you are at all interested in leveling up your success, your happiness, your well-being, and especially your authenticity, then stick around, okay? So, how is your day going so far? Right away, the first card you have is rough drafts. Okay, can you see that? All right, so I honor the beauty of rough drafts. First stabs, messy trial and errors. Nothing gets finished unless it gets started, and everything has to start somewhere. So forget dogging my first sentence, brushstroke, embroidered poodle. I'll give scrutiny a day, or maybe a whole month, off so I can go nuts and completely completing version 1.0. So that's the new first move. Ta-da! Now, does anyone know a good editor? All right, so right away, I'm getting that there's something that you're working on that's not quite finished yet, but maybe you've been attached too much to perfection. All right, so let me look in here to see what else is going to come up for you. And what I'm getting also is for you to be able to embrace anything that does not work. As I went to say that, my throat experienced like a block. It was like very hard to get the words out. So maybe there's like some things that you really want to be able to communicate for everything that you're working on to come together. And maybe you're stuck with the communication, all right? So let's see what else comes up. All right, yeah, so for that specific thing around the communication, you got surrender and you got it in inverse, right? So perhaps you're not allowing yourself to give up the control. Maybe you feel like you need to look good and have things all together, be the one who shows up and knows what they're talking about. You could be a leader, you could be an entrepreneur, you could be a parent, you could have a team of people, or you could have like maybe socially, or maybe you're an employee, but regardless, it's like there are people you feel look up to you for certain kinds of characteristics or traits or behaviors or habits, maybe certain responsibilities. But this is your opportunity to surrender and not have to have all the answers and not have to know everything for you to be able to get the job done, right? So there's a surrender and the trusting the divine. If you don't have the answers or you don't know what to communicate, start to open yourself up to the possibility that things can, like you can receive the right answers, okay? I firmly believe that each one of us has way more knowledge within us than what we allow ourselves. Like, we're often, media, for example, if it's like TV, internet, social media, anything, it's often, or even the online games, right? It's like all of these things are distractions for us. And yes, they are fun sometimes and they're useful sometimes. And all of the apps are very handy at times. But if you're not taking the time to really like clear your space of everything, like even the radio, but if you're not taking time to like turn things off and tune things out so you can just be with yourself and ask for those right answers, it's going to be slower for you to receive them, okay? And you can always ask other people for help as well. I'm getting that you're somebody who may not ask as much as you could for people for help. You could be concerned, this one here is nothing is wasted. You could be concerned that what you've created so far isn't really as good as you'd like, or that you've spent too much time in one area. For some of you, you may have like spent way too much time, energy, or money on a project that's not coming to fruition, and at this point you're not even sure if it will. And you may want to like change gears, but you might be, feeling attached to it because you've already invested so much at this point. And you might also be somebody who's maybe changed gears before, and you don't want to keep changing gears and keep doing different things because you really want this to come together, okay? It could be either one of those. You got forgiveness in inverse, okay? Now, message is, it's okay. I forgive myself unconditionally for any and all shortcomings, imperfections, foibles, fumbles, flops, and failures of my present, past, and chances are, future. I might not be perfect, but I am a perfect being, and I will continue to be perfectly imperfect with all the joy and acceptance that I can possibly muster. Giddy up. Okay, so your attachment to like perfectionism and what things look like and how you look So much of this is about how you look. It's like your ego is attached to being in a certain position or looking a certain way in certain environments to certain people, right? And this attachment is causing you to have some skewed perception of what's possible. There's a lot more that's possible and a lot more that you can do with this and work with what you have than you're really seeing. But because you haven't taken enough time, like there's two things that are getting in the way. Is one, you haven't tuned into your inner self and your inner knowing enough to really get those answers. And the other thing is that you have such high standards for yourself. And it's like, high standards are great. They are absolutely great. I have high standards. I like that I have high standards, okay? But at the same time, it's like, if your standards are so high that you feel that you're not measuring up, or you've got some kind of like judgment around yourself as well, or how you might come across to others, that also gets in the way. It blocks communication, it blocks trust, it blocks flow, it blocks honesty, it blocks all kinds of things, right? So surrender to knowing that everything's going to be okay, and trust that you will make the right choices. And nothing, like the message here is, nothing that you've done so far is wasted. Even if you've been working on a project and you have to scrap it and go in a different direction, it's like all of that time and all of that money, it's like a very big lesson. Okay, so not everybody watching this is going to be going through that right now, but you probably have some experience to know what I'm talking about. Yeah, but some people who are watching this right now, they're going to be going through this lesson right now, and it's like, well, I want to look good and I don't want to have everything fall apart, and yeah, I need to be the leader, I need to be responsible, I need to do this, manage that, and that's so much stress. It's so much stress that you don't need. You really don't. That's all ego based, and it's not becoming of you. So you got the Soldier in inverse. Okay. All right, I'm just looking at this card because it's actually a fascinating card. All of these people in this deck, in this Mirror Oracle deck, they're all skeletons, okay? But this Soldier is sitting on the ground. There's curtains around with some beads, like just decorative beads there. And then also beads around their neck and a nice robe, and they're holding a sword, like laying down a sword, okay? I'm gonna read what this means. And just give me one moment while I look it up. 73. Okay. So the symbols: the sword, associations of number 35 and 8, planning, conquering, vitality. Sitting at quiet ease, the Soldier is contemplative, composed, and patient. While the Soldier has the opportunity to enact great violence, it is at the discretion of that which directs them. From whom do we take our orders and directives? Do we defer to our egos, our superiors, or something greater and more obscure? The Soldier is, in this fashion, an extension of that which commands it. Who's in control? This card suggests a need for authority, structure, and stability, and a desire to move forward with clear direction. It can also imply suppression and confinement. So this is absolutely perfect with what we were just discussing, all right? So who is in control, right? You've got the egos, superiors, something greater and more obscure. You know, sometimes it's even our peers or our family. Like sometimes we give control over to different people and places and situations. So this is a confirmation to really see how this person is like. They're in quiet solitude and they're really like looking, because before you want to take action on something, especially something that could harm or destroy, or it could create, right? Like you have the power within you. It's a great responsibility, right? Great responsibility, but you need to step back and be with your own energy and really allow for the right answers. not where you're ego driven. Don't go into things blindly, and just like actually like look at things from higher perspectives and different perspectives and make the judgment and then communicate what's needed. Like maybe you've got to step up and communicate some uncomfortable truths that you don't necessarily feel like you need to be the one to do, right? But when you connect with your inner knowing and your higher self, you will be led to the right answer, and you will develop certainty within yourself, which makes those conversations much easier, right? And forgiving yourself and others. Like, I'm getting forgiving yourself first and foremost. Okay, so for whatever happened, whatever caused this situation or lack of communication or these things not to work as well in your favor as you would like, it's a temporary moment in time right now. So this is not forever, and it's going to be, it's going to come along very, very nicely. And you need to have faith. Okay, so what else do you have? Okay, so we got several cards from the Shadow Oracle deck. You got Defend to the left. You got Gratitude to the left. Stubborn to the left. And Depressed to the right. Okay, so basically you've got some really stuck patterns, like very, very stuck patterns, and it's almost like you can sense that if you keep going down this road, it's going to lead you to like things that you don't really want or like, right? It's almost like if you keep going on this path, you're going to suppress your feelings more and more, and your thoughts and feelings more and more, and then you will be unhappy because you're not going to be able to be fully self-expressed. And yeah, at this point, you've felt in the past, like when you communicate with things, or even when you're thinking about what needs to be done or needs to be said, it's almost like you're coming from a place of defensiveness. It's like our egos can be quite fragile, all right? But when we are able to like take that, all that feeling and emotion and judgment and all that, and we can literally take it and just put it aside and be like, okay, well, this is what I have. This is what I have to work with. This is what's going on. These are the people that need communicating. This is what needs to happen. But if you can be okay with whatever people say, whatever judgments are hurled at you, whatever circumstances and situations happen, but if you can be like okay with that and have those conversations that may be super uncomfortable for you that you didn't have because you felt you had to defend yourself, regardless of how things go, it's going to put you in a place where people respect you for saying what needs to be said. It's going to end up opening some doors for you. Like when one door closes, a few others open, right? So basically there's some things that you know need to be said and to achieve what you're looking for. And all of this, everything you've gone through so far is learning, right? It's developing you to be your next level self for whatever it is that you're going to be. And you probably have a feeling about where you're headed. And there may still be some confusion or some missing pieces, but that's fine. And if you look back, you've got lots and lots of reasons to be grateful for the situation you're in and everything that you've created so far, right? But I get that in this moment right now, it could be like that there's a bit of uneasiness and rockiness about either the performance or the results, okay? And maybe you feel like you haven't necessarily been yourself lately, and that's totally fine. You've got some really stuck patterns that were in the past. Like as of this moment right now, like you can change. Like everything is a now phenomenon. So you may have just been too stubborn in the past to see what actions and access you had to be able to make a difference, right? So in the past, you were always right even when wrong, and you would contradict to get attention. So here's an opportunity for you now to make a shift in who you've been in the past, right? So here's an opportunity for you to welcome and investigate new ideas. That's where giving in to the fact that you may not have all the answers. You might not. You might need to go for help from other people, and you might need to like get some quiet solitudes that you can surrender to not knowing everything. It's one of the most humbling experiences when you actually give up needing to be in control. It's I would say it's a really good experience, but in the beginning it can seem very scary, okay? And then also I am flexible, right? So this stubbornness is something that you're growing out of, but you have a fear that you may not be able to embrace it as fully, like that openness, as fully as you'd like. All right, let's see what else I've got for you. La 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 la. La 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 la. Okay. Yep, you got getting it out in inverse. You got drive in inverse, and you've got honoring ideas. Okay. So yeah, you're going to have a hard time getting things out. And it may be a good idea for you to journal, or to, like, maybe you've got karaoke system at home, or you just want to sit there and scream into a pillow, or anything. Like, whatever it is that has you to express your thoughts and feelings, do it. Because holding on to them isn't allowing you to sort everything through. It's almost like your thinking logical mind is going and it's putting all these pieces together, but there's stuff missing. And maybe they're thoughts and feelings, little things for you to self-express. So it's really important for you to do something that's going to be able to help you channel your energy. Maybe you got to scribble stuff, maybe you've got to, like, go outside and shout across the street. I don't know. Try to be respectful of people, of course, but you've got to get things out, because you've got too many things that you're holding on to that are blocking your creativity and blocking your drive. Okay, so whatever's going on, it's really taken a toll on your ambition and your drive. And again, nothing's wasted. Maybe you invested like so many years into a relationship, for example, and maybe it didn't go the way that you wanted, right? And with this relationship, it could be like not just a relationship with a person, it could be a relationship with a project or a company or whatever. But it's like, regardless of what it is, there's things you haven't expressed, that you haven't dealt with, that's impacting your drive and your ambition and your desire and your goals and things like that. But at the base of this, you've got this card here, and it's about honoring ideas. Now, ideas, again, they're going to come from that space of when you surrender, right? It's like they're divinely gifted to you. They're like, your mind will just be like, here's a bunch of ideas. Here's a good one. Oh, I have a thought. But at the base of it, you're going to have some new ideas and some new insights. And these things are going to light you up. Okay? So even with all of the other emotions and all the things that didn't work and the things that you want to say but you can't say, like maybe you can't express things because people like literally blocked you and they won't talk to you, right? Or maybe you have certain levels of communication that must be adhered to, right? Maybe there's different reasons for you not communicating, but it was a big block, okay? And at the base of everything, ideas. So when an idea comes to me, I honor it by doing my best to bring it into being. Ideas are like children, and I proudly nurture them, knowing they'll grow and develop, and eventually make their way out into the world without ever really acknowledging how much time, money, love I shelled out for them. Hey, whose idea was it to have ideas anyways? So, regardless of what you did, what you didn't do, what you worked on, the last thing that you went through, or whatever you're working on, consider it's the rough draft phase. It's practice. And what you're going to be going into is going to be taking all the things you learned, all the skills, all the ideas, everything that you've had, and it's going to give you new life. Now there's something that is not sitting with me well with this. It's like to the right for depressed. Yeah, so I want to pull another card for this, but I'm going to tell you what's there right now. Okay. Anyways, I'm going to look in the camera for that. Okay. So I'm safe to express frustration, and I am cheerful. So should you decide that you want to have a breakthrough in this, where you can express yourself freely and openly, and maybe if you can't actually express yourself to the right people, getting it out in some way, shape, or form is going to help you anyways, okay? But you don't need to hold on to the feelings of being inadequate. Like, you can really let that go, because it doesn't serve you at all. it is a really good thing for you to start to be able to open up about your feelings and practice. If it's not natural for you, practice. I am happy. I am sad. I feel like this, right? Some people are very great at expressing their feelings. I took courses. I took a lot of courses to be able to communicate, and I've coached people and helped people in all walks of life to be able to communicate everything. So I know it takes something. Like, I really know it takes something. And to be able to speak your feelings is going to transform your world. Okay? I want to pull one more card on that one, though, because, again, something felt very incomplete with it. Okay. Yeah, so the thing is you got faith in inverse, right? And it's that you're not trusting. Like, you're not trusting that things are going to be better. Maybe this rough draft and these practice things that you had, that you put all this time and energy and love and passion and everything into, and just to have it not work anyways, maybe you're afraid of that happening again. Maybe that's what's there, and you don't have faith. Your dreams and your ideas and your visions can be realized at the level that you really want them to. It's almost like having this passion and a beautiful desire, but there's no way it can happen to you, right? It's a love and a sadness, but that's not how it has to be. That's a snapshot, and that's a feeling that you've had before. It's like, if you feel that, then you have nothing to fear about it not working in the future, right? Because you already know, you might not get it anyways. But because you doubt it in the first place, the likelihood of it is very small. I mean, if it happens, amazing. But the likelihood of you being able to maintain it and have everything go the way that you really want it to, your belief's not there already, right? You need to have the faith. Faith precedes manifestation. That's what it is. Applied faith. So, here is something you can work on transforming if you're open to it. Okay? Oh my goodness. Guess what? The word miracle is right in front of me right now. Miracle. Okay? Now, so you do not like to wait for your miracle, and you dismiss clues that are answers. Okay? So that's what has been happening. But here's the opportunity for you. Your action is to step in to what faith presents. Like, if you see something show up in your life and it feels right and it feels good, step into it, right? Step into that, because it may not be the exact manifestation you're looking for, but it's evidence that it could be there, right? And I want to say one more thing. If you know that it's not exactly what you're looking for, acknowledge it, appreciate it, say thank you, right? And I'm looking for this, and be open to that miracle coming, right? Like, there was somebody I just met, and I think we would click, but I decided not even to let the person know that I liked them, because, I mean, if it's going to be, it's going to be, for one, but two, I didn't want to put anything in my space. I wanted to be me, and energetically me, and taking the action of my faith is knowing that I'm going to have that divine counterpart that connects exactly with me, and I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to push. I don't have to, it's going to be, I'm going to say hand-delivered, wrapped in a bow kind of thing. Not literal. I would be kind of freaked out if somebody just showed up wrapped in a bow. But anyways, so I am hopeful. It's time for you to bring some hope back into your life. Allow things and honor your ideas. Because these ideas that come to you, they are little gifts. They are little gifts from the divine. And as you start honoring your ideas, your vibration and your energy and your belief and your faith is all going to start to shift. The appreciation of what is going to grow, and you will feel so much better and start attracting those things that you did not believe you could have, but you can totally have. All right? Yay! Please make sure that you like and subscribe. to this channel. I'm here to help you level up your happiness and your success in all areas. And also, I'm going to be starting to add some fun things into my videos. Can't tell you when, it's a surprise. But another thing that if you're like a business person, or you're an entrepreneur, or you're a leader, or someone who really is ambitious, I've got a membership called the Self Vibe membership. Or maybe you're just like wanting to get into your authentic self. So I'll be releasing that very shortly. But if you're somebody who really wants to play a high level game and wants to be able to balance your spirituality and your material world and have everything come together, I have a few mentorship programs as well. So I've got a group mentorship program, and then I've got an individual mentorship program, which I only take a few people for the individual mentorship program because I want to provide the best value possible, and because I go really, really deep with people and help them with their business and with their personal and professional life, and in all kinds of areas. So if those are things that you're interested in, check out the description box. And also, if you are somebody who just wants to find out how aligned you are with yourself, I've got an authenticity quiz and a full alignment checklist that you can download from the description box below. Okay? All right. So I'm going to say peace. I will see you in another reading, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.